Irvingman! Lois Lane is somewhere, and she stopped at this little motel for the night. Well, this is exciting. I'm gonna say the bird did it, whatever it was. How long is this gonna take? Padding, 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 gotta add some padding. That doesn't look like a beauty rest mattress. Lois comes in and discovers her.
That woman's been hurt. She's bleeding.
So what?
I think it's time to find a different motel.
You let me out of here. Don't you push me!
It was an accident, but that was real. He really hit Phyllis Coates and knocked her unconscious for a bit. Poor guy felt so awful, and you can't blame him. A partner comes in.
Newspaper reporter. Police car.
She's seen too much.
Where's the phone?
There's none in here. The boot next to the first cabin.
Put that rod away. Lock him up in one of the cabins. I'm gonna call the boss.
She's seen too much? What did she see? A thug who injured a woman motel clerk. For all she knows, you're just stealing money from the till. But the lowbrow goons tend to be pretty bloodthirsty in these shows. It's kind of a thing they all did.
You lock the dames up?
Yeah, second cabin. What'd the boss say?
He's sending a torpedo out to knock 'em off.
What's the idea? What's the matter with us?
We ain't good enough, I guess.
Who's he sending?
Some rider just flew in from Chicago. A babyface something.
Babyface Stevens?
Yeah, you know him?
I heard about him. Great kid. Always making with the jokes. And you know what?
What?
When he does a job, he takes all the slugs out of the gun except one. Never misses.
Lois is tending to the woman with a head injury. She's not worried about her own. She's been knocked on the head enough times that she just brushes it off now.
They were talking down by the last cabin. The two of them and Frank, my husband. I heard a shot and ran out. I saw Solly, that's the big one, dragging Frank down into the gully behind the cabins.
What's so important to them that they'll kill him in cold blood?
They were using this place as a hideout for criminals. We're only 20 miles from the Canadian border. They'd keep them here during the daytime, and at night they'd sneak them over the line into Canada. We didn't know what they were doing until tonight.
These guys go across the border at night, commit crimes in Canada, then sneak back to the motel and hide out. Frank found out and tried to call the police, and they murdered him. Lois says, we have to find a way to get out of here. She slips out the back window and makes her way to a phone booth near the front of the complex. The sheriff's office isn't answering, and you get the feeling if they did, Barney Fife would answer. Getting nowhere down that avenue, she calls the Daily Planet. At the Planet, Jim has tickets to a baseball game, and he's taking Clark. At least until Clark gets a phone call.
Kent speaking. Who? Oh, yes, Inspector. What? Oh, they did. All right, I'll be right over.
Where you going?
Police headquarters. They've got a lead on that Ellsworth jewel robbery. I'll see you later.
Hey, but what about the ball game?
Don't worry. What time is it now? It's 10 minutes after 6. I'll meet you back here at 8:30.
Clark will leave just in time to miss Lois's call. As we'll see, that's going to become a running theme on the show. Clark is usually the last one to know what's going on.
Listen to me. Find Clark or the chief. Tell him I'm at the Restwell tourist cabins. No, Restwell. R-E-S-T. It's on Highway 15. It's in the Blue Hills. I'm in trouble, Jim, and
Inspector Henderson isn't in, and Clark hasn't gotten to police headquarters yet, so there's nothing to do but go try to rescue Miss Lane himself.
Miss Bacharach, Lois Lane's in trouble, and I can't get a hold of Mr. Kent, and the chief's in Boston, so I'm going up there myself.
calm down.
It's not your job to tell him that. You're not his mother.
I can't calm down. It's an emergency. Look, is the chief's car in the parking lot?
Why, yes, I believe so.
Okay, I'm going to take it. Give this note to Mr. Kent.
You'll have a nervous breakdown one of these days.
Make sure he gets this when he comes in.
I'm going out to supper.
Okay.
I leave it on his desk.
I don't take you seriously, so I'm going to be as lazy and sloppy as I can.
That boy.
Predictably, she just takes it in and tosses it on Clark's desk without much care where it lands. Yep, she may have just killed Lois Lane because of her attitude toward Jim Olsen. Later, we see the janitor come in and add the note to his garbage.
I put it right there.
Well, it isn't there now.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kemp.
Did you read it?
Well, I glanced at it.
Do you remember what was in it?
Well, frankly, I didn't pay much attention. That silly Olsen boy.
Never mind about Jim. What was in that note?
Somebody's getting fired. You work in a newspaper office. If you can't deal with people getting excited and frantic about a story or other situation, get a different job. Clark is scrambling around trying to find the note, but the janitor just burned it. Back to Mrs. Bacharach, which may or may not be a useful move. At the motel, Sully is tired of waiting for this baby-face guy. He has the women tied back to back and is getting ready to go in and kill them. The worst secretary in Metropolis remembered it was something well, so Clark calls the Association of Tourist Camps to try and get some names. They come up with 3.
Do you want me to call the police and tell them?
I'll handle it, Miss Bacharach. Thank you.
He practically pushed me out. Oh.
Considering the mess you made, your time might be better spent cleaning out your desk. But no, she'll be back in episode 21. She must have a contract or something.
Mitch! Mitch! That's him, Babyface Stevens.
Come on.
He fits the description all right, but he doesn't talk like a hitman.
Hiya, Babyface.
Could you fellas tell me where I could find Miss Lane? I think she's in trouble.
You see what I mean, Mitch? Always gag.
Do you know what cabin she's in?
They're number 2, both of them. Here's the key.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Sully gives Jim his gun with 2 bullets in it, and they take him to the room.
Miss Lane.
Jim, how did you get it here?
Shh, not so loud. They think I'm somebody else, a guy named Babyface. They gave me this gun and sent me in here to kill you. And
Good heavens.
Here, let me cut you loose.
They're not sure what to do. Mitch and Sully are getting impatient and yelling at him to hurry up. He can't stall much longer. Another car pulls in.
Hey, Mitch, this guy says he's Babyface Stevens.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Are they in there?
Wait a minute, Bud. There's another guy in there says he's Babyface Stevens. How do I know you're the right guy?
Here's how.
That's a pretty convincing idea, all right. He tricks Jim into firing both bullets. Now they're defenseless.
Shoot, Jim, shoot!
It's empty.
Sully, it's a present for you.
Superman has been flying to the various camps looking for Lois. Naturally, he'll get to this one last. You know, it might be a nice change of pace sometime if the hero found the right place the first time. But we couldn't do it that way this time. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Superman must really be pulling his punches. They keep getting up. That's more like it.
Superman, you're wonderful. How did you know we were in trouble?
Little bird told me.
Bet you the little bird's name was Clark Kent.
Could be.
It sure wasn't Mrs. Bacharach. This episode has so much padding. That's why we had to have Superman go to all those other places and ask about Lois. We had buttloads of runtime to fill and nothing of substance to fill it with. We have so many extended scenes of nothing happening. It's like they took a whole season's worth and crammed it into one episode. This should have been an exciting, thrill-a-minute roller coaster ride as Clark and the others scramble to find and save Lois while she's using every trick she knows to try and get herself and Mrs. King out of there. Instead, it just drags. The rest of my life would have been just fine if I had never heard of Mrs. Backrack. I think she was supposed to be a little over the top and stereotypical, but she didn't pull it off. The character is just abrasive and unlikable. The kind that makes you want to watch something else. There was so much potential in this story, but we chose the wrong way to present it and it came out dull. It happens.
Until next time. Video by Harry Harrison. Audio by Morris Morrison. Wardrobe and makeup by Alice Allison. Your announcer has been Peter Peterson.